Hey everyone, welcome back to Rooster's weekly video update. Overnight, Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th US president at the Capitol in Washington. He signed 15 executive orders in his first action as president, including to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord and revoke the travel ban on some Muslim majority countries. Australia is unlikely to fully open its borders in 2021, even if most of its population gets vaccinated this year as planned, says the senior health official. The comments dampened hopes raised by airlines that travel to and from the country could resume as early as July. From January 19, Seychelles will admit anyone from any country who can prove they have had a vaccine against coronavirus. Specifically, visitors will need to have had their final dose of an approved vaccine at least 2 weeks before they jet off. It means the very first wave of key workers and older, more vulnerable citizens who've had vaccines in countries such as the UK and the US could already be eligible. EasyJet has posted a £1.27 billion pre-tax annual loss, the first loss in its 25-year history, as the turbulence caused by the coronavirus pandemic continues to shake the aviation industry. In its financial results for the year ending September 30, 2020, the low-cost airline revealed that capacity decreased by 47.5% and passenger numbers were halved to 48.1 million year on year. Anyone going on a Saga holiday or cruise in 2021 must be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, the tour operator has said. Saga, which specializes in holidays for the over 50s, said it wanted to protect consumers' health and safety. The firm said it would delay restarting its travel packages until May to give consumers enough time to get jabs. Jet2 has added more summer 2022 seats from Manchester, Stansted, Birmingham, and Bristol following encouraging booking sign. And many British skiers remained hopeful for a late season getaway despite the challenges posed by the coronavirus. A new poll of 5,000 enthusiasts has revealed priorities for those unsure about skiing this season included being vaccinated and low infection rates in the country they're looking to visit. Consumers are prepared to spend another £1,335 on holidays to ensure safety when they can finally travel again. This includes things like better insurance, high quality accommodation, and options like private excursions and transfers, according to new research by the All Clear travel insurance company. St. Lucia says it is ready to meet the demand for COVID-19 testing and processing. The Caribbean island was responding to the UK government's requirements for a negative pre-departure COVID-19 test for airline passengers. Holiday companies have also reported an increase in bookings as the UK's coronavirus vaccine rollout gives people hope they'll soon be able to travel overseas again. Travel Association ABTA said it was hearing from members that the over 50s represented a much higher proportion of early bookers than is normal. And Cornwall has been chosen to host the International G7 Leaders Summit in June in what is likely to be a landmark first meeting between world leaders since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. The likes of Joe Biden, Boris Johnson, Emmanuel Macron, and Angela Merkel will be in attendance later this year. Over in social, TikTok has premiered a new Q&A option that allows users to post questions directly to creators. Submitted questions can be voted upon, like Reddit's upvotes, and creators can spin those questions into new videos to further connect with their audiences. The major difference between this new feature and the current live stream question function is that users can post questions at any time that live in their own section on creators' profiles. As part of a push to make the internet more accessible, Facebook has updated its automatic alt text feature to better identify what's in an image that hasn't been given alt text manually. Manually adding alt text to images is best practice across social so that even those with screen readers can understand what they're seeing in their feed. If you're not sure what alt text is and you're looking for a good primer, we've got a link to one in the article. And in the wake of the US Capitol riots a few weeks ago, social platforms have been cracking down on anything controversial in an effort to avoid heavier-handed regulations, a little bit like the GDPR. However, more nations are investigating ways to manage their influence. As user bases grow, political tensions continue to flare up, and as we as a global society grapple with the power structures innate in global platforms like Facebook with 2 billion users, which is almost sort of twice the population of the largest country on earth, it is a new frontier and one that will find itself regulated in some capacity sooner rather than later, whether they're sort of the same regulations across the world or sort of different on individual countries is yet to be seen. We're curious what will happen when you can cross borders post-COVID with the same phone, same apps, and same profile in your pocket, but kind of different rules everywhere. So stay tuned and we'll keep you updated. And after bouncing on the TikTok trend like everyone else last year, YouTube has clarified how Shorts views affect overall channel stats. So Shorts, YouTube's little vertical story format, count as regular video views for the purposes of channel analytics reporting, and they might affect average view duration because they're obviously shorter than most videos. But YouTube promises this won't affect your channel ranking because they do use retention really heavily as a metric as well. That said, Shorts views don't count towards revenue per thousand stats for monetized creators because Shorts themselves aren't yet monetized. And Twitter's new publicly accessible verification process is also set to reopen this week. We have touched on it before, but the new guidelines mean that there'll be a public portal through which you can apply to be verified, and the new policies will be published and discoverable as opposed to last time when they were pretty ambiguous. And lastly, they're a little late to the party, but better late than never. Pinterest is testing story pins buttons along the top of the user interface. You know how stories work. I don't need to dive into this one. That's all from us this week. Don't forget to read the article, the link as per usual, and stay tuned for next week. We'll have even more news. Thanks.